For Beverley Campbell, family is something you nurture, protect, and stand by. Because she was raised by her grandparents, her own journey began in kinship care.
When my parents had me, they were teenagers, and so my maternal grandparents said, no, you need to go off and study and sort your lives out, and we want to care for her. So I lived with them since I was a week old.
Campbell's childhood shaped everything she grew up to believe in, including a promise she made at 5 years old.
From an early age, I was always interested in families. And I think at the age of 5, I announced that I wanted to be a lawyer. And my grandparents said, well, if you're willing to work for it, we're willing to support you. And that's what I became.
At Family Rights Group, Campbell supports parents and relatives facing some of the most difficult moments of their lives, helping them to understand the law, as well as to find stability and safety for children.
Campbell joined the charity back in 2008, after decades as a family lawyer. What started as part-time advice work grew into a national role.
And was really impressed with the ethos of the organisation, the quality of the advisors on the advice line. They're either ex-social workers or ex-lawyers. And so it's not just a hand-holding service. We give a lot of really helpful advice to families who are involved with the childcare system.
Over time, Campbell helped build and lead 2 national panels of parents and kinship carers, which is now considered best practice across the sector.
What we do is we are approached by the Department of Education, other organisations such as Quorum, researchers from a variety of universities. They will approach us so that we can work out workshops or facilitate them talking to family members with experience.
For many callers, Campbell is the first person to tell them that they are legally kinship carers. This opens the door to rights, support, and financial stability they may never have otherwise known about.
The difficulty is lots of people do not know that they are kinship carers. We have to tell them what they are. And if you don't know what you are, you don't know the questions to ask to get the support you need.
And with funding for the charity's national advice line not yet confirmed for next year, the stakes are high.
If our service wasn't there, who would tell them that they were kinship carers? Who would give them template letters and advice in order for them to challenge it?
Campbell's impact is personal, too, and can be seen in the families who return to tell her advice changed everything.
I had one lady a couple of years ago who said that her son had been removed, he was in care. And when she went through all the things, I said, no, you've got to challenge that. And I said, look, I'll write you a letter for you to send to Children's Services just to ask them to review things and work with you. And she came back within the year and said, I did what you said, it started a conversation, and now I've actually got my child back.
This year, Campbell was awarded an MBE for her work with families nationwide, but King Charles also commended her for a lifetime of caring at home. She has looked after her grandmother for 43 years.
It wasn't just because I was a lawyer, because I'm committed to do the work that I do here. It also was in recognition to me looking after my grandmother, who I have managed to get to 100 years old.
Still, Campbell says there's a lot of work left to be done, and she's nowhere near finished.
To work somewhere that not just says this is what we do, but actually does it, it's a privilege. And you hear people say, if you enjoy what you do, you don't feel like you're working.
For families across the UK, Beverley Campbell is a champion of dignity and hope, thanks to a life shaped by care and a devotion to giving it back. For London TV, I'm Cait Medearis.